Well, starting off in the second part of our season, new season, we're excited about being in the playoffs, being one of the 28 teams that have an opportunity to advance on. Obviously last week didn't go our way. We didn't come out with the result that we wanted, but we've put that behind us, and now moving on to our next opponent, which is Wingate, and excited again about having an opportunity to play at home and play another SAC team and play in the first round of the playoffs.
Going back to last Saturday, obviously that's a tough loss for you guys. It seemed like what really made the difference was them being able to limit you guys on the ground. Just what in particular did their front seven do to kind of stop you guys?
Well, they beat us on blocks. At the point of attack, they got off blocks very quickly, and we had a hard time going downhill a good bit, and we felt like if we could get past the line of scrimmage, we were going to have an opportunity to make big plays, and their defensive line and linebackers, really their front seven did an outstanding job of containing us the whole night. And, we didn't have our best game up front. We didn't have our best game offensively, and it just basically came down to they played a much better game from a defensive standpoint than we did offensively.
Coach, how do you keep the team going forward, keeping them confident for the playoff season after such a tragic loss?
Well, the one thing that we talked about was we didn't fulfill the dream that we wanted, which was to win the conference championship, but we still have an opportunity to win the big one, which is the national championship, and we just got to go on a 5-game run, and that's what we talked about when we got together on Sunday was making that 5-game run, and we talked about it again yesterday after practice. We've got to take everything one at a time, one practice at a time, one game at a time, one play at a time. Everything has got to be within the moment now, and understand that there's a lot of teams that are sitting at home. I think there's 163 teams in Division II playing football. And when you have 28, I'm not a great math major, but there's 130-something that are sitting at home right now, wishing that they were in the position that we're in. So we need to take advantage of this. And I think our guys are excited about making the playoffs again for a second year. Last year we had to go on the road to Virginia in the first round. This time we have an opportunity to play at home. So from an improvement standpoint, that's much better. Being second in the region is not where we wanted to be. We wanted to be first, but we're second, and that's pretty darn good, because at least if we can win in the first round, in the second round, we have another opportunity to host. And that's exactly what we want to do, is we want to try to maintain that home field advantage for as long as we can.
As far as the attitudes of the team goes, does it seem like they've put that Valdosta loss behind them in the past couple of days? And
I think so. It was hard to really tell yesterday because we had such terrible weather. We weren't able to get outside. We had to go into the hangar here on campus and work, and what we did was we had a defensive practice, then we came together and did special teams, and then the offense practiced. So we weren't all together the entire time, and we're having to do the same thing again today. We're not able to get outside and practice again, so we've got 2 straight days that we're not getting our timing and not getting out and getting running. I think we'll be able to do that tomorrow, so I'll have a better feel from an entire team standpoint of how we are. Offensively, we were focused yesterday in practice. Our assignments for putting in new stuff, new things for our game plan for Wingate, they were very good. They were very sharp in what we were doing. So that was very positive to see. Our special teams was the same way. We were sharp in our assignments. But again, until I can get the whole team together and really get a feel of how they are on the field, I don't know. But walking around here and in meetings, and just in relations with them, walking up and down the hall, they're excited about this new season that's starting this week.
Just released as the press conference was starting as the all-conference team. You got 12, and then an of the year for yourself. So your reaction on 12 all-conference teams?
Well, I haven't seen that, but whoever the 12 are, I'm really excited for them. I think we deserve a lot of guys to be on there. I'm excited that they are recognized the way that they should be. We'll recognize those guys today at practice, but I'm looking forward to sitting down and seeing who all made that. The big thing for us is it's great to have the accolades that we got, but we want we want the team accolade, which is to be able to win in the playoffs and continue to go on from and pursue a championship. And I think that means more than the individual awards that we're going to receive from the Gulf South Conference.
This Winged team that started the season off 1-3, so for the better part of 2 months, they've been in a must-win playoff mindset just to get to this position. Just what will they be bringing to the table on both sides of the ball this Saturday?
Well, defensively, they're very, very good. They have not given up a lot of points all year long. They've won a lot of games from a defensive standpoint of holding people and not letting them score a lot of points. They've got 2 very good defensive ends. I think one of their defensive ends, I think his last name is Rawlings. I know he's number 9, obviously because he stands out on film, but he is the conference player of the year for them on the defensive side of the ball, and very, very well deserved. He's an outstanding player. He's relentless. He plays very hard. The one thing I'll say about them is they are very assignment sound. You don't really find any weaknesses and keys as to what you can pick on those guys. They're always in the right position. They play hard. They tackle very well. They're always in the right positions, and they're very, very, very opportunistic when the ball is in the air. If there's tip balls, they're around them. They're a lot like the Valdosta team. The Valdosta team had several interceptions off tip balls. These guys are the same way. They're always around getting in positions where they have an opportunity to make plays defensively. They got 2 great running backs, and they're very scary. I think their running back was the freshman of the year. One of their running backs was the freshman of the year. So, they're going to try to pound us and run at us a little bit, and that was one of the things that we had a little bit of trouble with last week. They hit us with some big plays in the run game, and we got to limit those things down and make sure that we play very good special teams once again. So, I'm excited about playing a new opponent. I think when you get into the playoffs, you ought not have to play your conference again. You ought to play different people, and I think that's what I'm more excited about. So, I'd like to see how we compare to the South Atlantic Conference. We had an opportunity to play 2 early in the year with Catawba and Limestone, and this will be our 3rd. So hopefully we can go 3-0 against that conference. But we'll find that out Saturday.
Coach, you do have 3 common opponents with them. Does that help you get ready when it's a new opponent, one you haven't seen? At least there's a frame of reference because of at least 3 of the films against people you played?
Well, it does, especially when you can kind of watch them run and evaluate, what's their speed like. Because, when you watch Florida Tech on film, you have an idea of their speed and what they bring in and week out, and see them run with those guys. You know that they have good speed. You know that they can run. You can see size. You can match up size a little bit because nothing against the sports information department sometimes, but sometimes they'll flub a little bit on some weight and some height and different things like that. But you can kind of see the matchups on that. But they played very well against the opponents. Florida Tech, who is in the playoffs. Florida Tech had to kick a field goal late in the game to beat these guys. They're like I said, they're a very good football team, and it's not because they're number 7 in the region should we ever overlook these guys. We're not overlooking these guys. We can't overlook these guys. They're a very, very good opponent, and there's a reason why they started out 1-3 and probably playing their best football of the year at this time, and it was probably in the toughest part of their schedule. All right, thank you.